Hey everybody, Fred Love here, and let's do a Christmas song for today's guitar lesson. I am actually notorious for not liking Christmas music. I often kind of refuse to do Christmas songs at my family Christmas get togethers. It's just not the kind of music that inspires me. But one of my students, Steven, came in for a lesson and he wanted to learn Silver Bells. And he actually had the whole melody all tabbed out really nicely. And he said, let's practice this, let's work on this. And so as we started to study the melody to Silver Bells, I got kind of into it. I thought, this is really kind of a fun melody that we can use to illustrate the power of the major scale. And it's got a simple little chord progression, but I thought, if we kind of jazzed up that chord progression, substituted in some major seventh chords, it could be like a really fun, jazzy instrumental. So here is my lesson on Silver Bells, but presented in kind of a jazzy, fun kind of way. So let's get started. Let's study. So I'm playing Silver Bells in the key of E. And if you want to, and you're just kind of starting out with open chords, you can play it an open chord version, an open chord position. So you've got your E major, and you've got your A major, you've got your B7. And that's really all you need to play Silver Bells. It's got a 3/4 time feel, a waltz feel, which gives it kind of a fun feel, I think. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Silver bells, silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them sing, it will soon be Christmas Day. So if you were just playing it for your family in your living room at your family Christmas, that's how I would do it. But I think that's a little bit boring. I want to jazz it up a little bit. So if we substitute those cowboy open chords for some jazzier chords up on the neck, I think it gives the song a much more interesting sound. So instead of just a plain old E major, let's do an E major 7. And the way we do that, let's use our pointer finger and get up on the 7th fret of the A. There's our root, that's an E note. Then we're going to use our ring finger on the 9th fret to grab the 5th, that's a B. Then we're going to grab a major 7th with our middle finger on the 8th fret of the G. Okay, so that's a D sharp, that's our major 7th. Then we're going to use our pinky and we're going to grab the B string also on the 9th fret. So there's our E major 7. That's a really jazzy sounding chord. And you can also, if you want to, you can hit that low E string as well for some extra warmth, some extra bass. Right? Then when we switch to the A, you've got a couple of choices for an A major 7. You can just take this exact same shape and slide it all the way up to the 12th fret. So there's an A major 7. Maybe that would be easier for you, just starting down here, then sliding up to the 12th fret, right? So it's the same shape. Or you can come back down here to your E major 7. And then you can use this voicing for your A major 7, which is what I do. This is what I do when I play it. I like this voicing. And what we're doing here is we're using our pointer finger to grab the 5th fret of the low E. Then we're grabbing the 6th fret of the... We're skipping the A. We're muffling that A string. We're going to grab the 6th fret of the D string with our ring finger. So there's our major 7th. Then we're grabbing our pinky also on the 6th fret of the G. So that's a 3rd. Okay, and then we're using our middle finger to get the 5th fret of the B. So those 4 notes are what we're hitting for our A major 7. And then when we go up to the B7, we're not doing a B major 7, we're doing a B dominant 7. And I really like this voicing. This is a clever voicing. Use your middle finger to grab the root, which is the 7th fret of the low E. Slide in our, we're going to skip the A string, we're going to muffle it. Then we're going to slide in our ring finger also on the 7th fret of the D string. So there's our dominant 7th, and then we're going to use our pinky to grab the the 8th fret of the G string. And we're just getting those 3 notes. So to play that whole progression, let's start at the beginning with our E major 7. Then we go up for our A major 7. Then B dominant 7th. Then we're going to go back to our E major 7. And then I like to kind of do like a little turnaround and do the last measure of the progression, throwing on another B7. So here's how it sounds. And we start all over. So now let's take a quick moment to look at the melody, at least to the chorus of the song, because I think that's really where the magic in this song is. And so all of the notes for the Silver Bells chorus melody come right out of the major scale. In this case, it's an E major, because we're playing the song in the key of E. And you can adjust that. You can transpose the song to whatever key you like. I'm just going to go with E. So let's look at the E major scale real quick and see how it relates to the melody of the song. So let's take our pinky. I like to take my pinky when I'm doing the major scale in this position. Put my pinky and put it on the 7th fret of the A. So there is our root. That is an E note. Then let's take our pointer finger and then grab the 4th fret of the D. That is an F sharp. That's the 2nd note. Then we're going to go up a whole step, use our ring finger, grab the 6th fret of the D. That's a G sharp. Then we'll use our pinky again and grab the 7th fret, A. Then we're going to go back up to the 4th fret of the G string, B. That's a B note. Then we grab one full step up with our ring finger on the 6th fret of the G. That's a C sharp. And then we'll go back up to the 4th fret of the B string. That's a D sharp. And then we just go up one more half step with our with our middle finger and grab an E. So we're back to our tonic. So that whole thing. Whoops. Right? So there is our E major scale. All the notes we're going to play for the chorus come right out of that scale, except at one point we've got our E note here. We're going to slide up to the 7th fret to an F sharp, and that's also in the scale, in the next octave of the scale. But that's it. Those are the only notes we're gonna be using for the chorus. And if you really like the verse melody, let me know in the comments, and I can certainly do a lesson on those as well. I just think that the chorus is maybe the most iconic part of the song. So how are we going to play this? We're going to put our ring finger on the 6th fret of the D, and then we're going to go up to the 7th fret, and then finish up on the 4th fret of the G string. So it's like... Right? So what notes are we playing there? We're playing a G sharp, an A, and a B. So that's the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th notes of the E major scale. Right? So that's just right out of the scale, in the order of the scale. And we're going to keep doing that. There's a little bit of a pause, and then we're going to go up to the 8th fret of the G, and then up to the B string where we hit the 4th and the 5th. So, and those notes are just the next notes in the scale. That's C sharp, D sharp, and then we finish on the tonic on E. So we're just playing the notes of the chord right there, the notes of the scale. We're not doing anything fancy, but it sounds so good. Why is that? Well, we're using the scale in an ascending pattern, so I think that kind of gives the melody a sense of raising, of joyousness, coming up, rising up with us, and feels good for puts us in the holiday spirit. And then we're going to go back down to the 4th fret of the B string. That's the major 7th. So what's that part of the melody? So we're picking the 4th fret of the B twice, then up to the 5th, and then the 7th. That's our F sharp note, the 2nd of the scale. So then we've got the 5th, the 4th, and the 5th. And then we're ending that phrase with the 4th fret of the G, which is a B note. That's the 5th. So we're kind of ending that phrase on the 5th, which anticipates that B7 chord that plays at the end of the chord progression. So you can kind of give that a little wiggle, a little vibrato there. All right, then we go back to the beginning and play that ascending part of the scale. And it's really similar to the first, to ending that first phrase. We're going we're on the B string, 4th fret twice, then the 5th, then the 7th, and then we're finishing it with 5, 4, 5, which is the root, the major 7th, and then we're finishing on the root, finishing right on that E note, which lets us know that the melody has kind of come to its conclusion. It has resolved. It feels very stable, very satisfying. So in this chorus, we've got this ascending figure in the major scale, which I think gives the song a sense of rising spirits. And then it ends on, the first phrase ends on the 5th, which also, it's a chord tone, so it sounds really stable. It sounds nice, but it also kind of anticipates that B7 chord. It lets us know that we're not done yet. It lets us know that there's something more coming. And then the last figure, the last phrase of the chorus, finishing on that tonic, right on that root, lets us know that yes, we have come to completion. That's a full stop. That's a period in the sentence of this song. So, hey, thanks for listening, everybody. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. And I hope if you get any time off, you spend a little time playing some guitar. I hope you enjoyed this lesson of Silver Bells. I actually found it surprisingly fascinating. So let me know if you have any questions about this. Put it in the comments. You can subscribe. If you want a lesson, get in touch with me for that as well. And we will talk soon. Thanks, everybody.